I've spoken to Harada about this situation. Based on the way this information is presented, I think he would be comfortable with me saying this because he's also said something similar to, I think, Kayane, who's probably the first person on here, probably the next biggest Soul Calibur champion of all of them. I talked to Harada about this before the first time I played Tekken 8, and it was, that's about, Jesus, almost 2 years ago. And I specifically asked him about Soul Calibur. So what happened? Like, did it lose its champion? That kind of stuff, right? And everything sort of lined up with what we thought. That yes, that was the case. And if we wanted another Soul Calibur, you'd have to wait another 10 years. That there would just have to be enough movement and shift and enough people at Bandai Namco to get back together again, to scrounge together resources and to have enough tenure at the company to do something about it. And I believe he also told Kayane this as well, that you need to wait like another decade.
All right, so you guys just heard Maximilian. He's basically talking about a tweet that Harada had put out where he was basically explaining what had happened to Soul Calibur 6 and all that other stuff. So it's kind of a sad thing to me, but it's kind of something that was understandable. And he basically said it that when their producer left, it was basically over. We kind of all knew it was basically over, that it was kind of over for Soul Calibur. And Harada was basically coming out and saying, from what Max said with the conversation that he had with him with Kayane, that you probably gonna have to wait another decade for Soul Calibur, because it's gonna take another producer willing to come and put his reputation on the line to make sure that game takes off and gets everything it's supposed to get. Somebody's gonna have to put their life into that game for you to basically get another Soul Calibur. And it sucks because Soul Calibur is a game that I'm sure many people love. I got into it at Soul Calibur 2 when it had one of the best storylines in a fighting game ever, probably top 3, top 2, and it ain't 2. It was just a fantastic game, and just to see that it has gotten to this point, I mean, he basically said it, if you go back and watch this video, that basically it got to a point to where, like, you know, Tekken, the Tekken project, the Tekken team, they made sure that they separated themselves, you know, to where their own unique special team, to where they didn't have to run a lot of stuff through Bandai Namco and all that other stuff. But with Team Soul, it wasn't that way. That based on when Tekken 6 came out, or, you know, all the way going back to like Tekken 5 and stuff like that, that they were having to go to Bandai Namco for support. And basically Harada was coming out and saying that in this tweet, that you can go back and if you watch this video, you will see that Harada basically said it was a lot of, you know, suits, you know, people who, you know, in these companies that don't have gaming backgrounds, they have like financial and management backgrounds. And so for them, they kind of looked at the game as just basically like a business decision, a business expense, and they didn't really give them the budget and stuff that they needed. So much so that Maximilian even said that when it came to Soul Calibur 6, it had the lowest roster, the lowest amount of characters in the roster on launch for any Soul Calibur game. So we kind of saw the direction that it was going. And it was just kind of like a thing where they said, hey, if we don't sell this many copies by the first year, it's a wrap, it's done. So, you know, it's really, really unfortunate. It really, really sucks that basically we can kind of say when it comes to Soul Calibur, yes, a lot of people love it. It's a great game, a great franchise with a great history and stuff like that. But this is basically it. This is basically it for like a long time. And this is just something that we're going to have to deal with. So you guys tell me how y'all feel about it. I mean, once again, as for me, it's unfortunate. Soul Calibur 2 was probably like, I mean, my favorite 3D game I've ever played. And I honestly think it's a top 5 fighting game of all time. But that's just my personal opinion. So you guys let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Rex on Max. That sucks. Peace out.